survive and what will be left of them? That is the question of these crazy, bizarre murderers of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have been very excited to do this unboxing. This figure is, from everything I've seen, an amazing figure. So I had to get it. I've been looking for a LeatherFace figure to add to my collection because I am trying to collect all of the big main slashers. And this was kind of one of the biggest ones that I still did not have. So I had to get it, obviously. I had Jason, I had Michael, I had Chucky, I had Ghostface. The only other one that I think I don't have is people like, I don't have Candyman or Pinhead or anybody else like that. And technically those aren't considered slashers, but they're killers nonetheless. They're horror icons, and that's what I'm trying to get, is all the horror icons. But at least the slashers I have down now. So let's go ahead and get right into this unboxing and begin. Boom. And there you guys have him. This is LeatherFace from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the 50th anniversary version. As you can see, I already have him holding the little hammer there, the little meat hammer, and then he also has his chainsaw already out of the gate. First things noticing about this figure, he is a very solid figure, which is a very good thing. This is a very stocky, bigger guy. You know, he was always a bigger guy, and I like how solid his figure feels. You know, he's a thicker figure. He's much bigger for a NECA figure as well compared to a lot of the other NECA figures. Especially the slashers like Michael Myers and all of them. He just has a much thicker build, a much thicker body, and he's very solid, like solid plastic, which I absolutely love about him because that's how LeatherFace should feel. He should feel very tanky because that's honestly how his character is. Going ahead and setting that off to the side, we're going to go ahead and give him a little 360 to show you. Full figure here. Oh, there goes his chainsaw. I don't have his gripping hands on. I just have his open hands, so that's why. That's why the chainsaw fell out so easily. I tried positioning it in a way where it's going to stay. Yeah, there we go. That should hold like that. He's got his iconic apron, obviously, his bloody apron. A little crooked there, obviously, just like it is in the movie. His bluish tie that he's got going on, the normal attire that LeatherFace has, his black cowboy boots. All in all, really, really good figure. He's got the very darkened eyes. His face sculpt is pushed back a little bit when it comes to inside his mask. The hair looks really, really good. I love how crazy it looks. And yes, it is not just solid. You can actually move his hair around like it's actual hair. His hair does move and bend around, which is a really, really cool little addition to his character, his mask. I really like the mask as well. It's very leathery, and it's not fully sculpted to be solid on the head sculpt. You can actually feel certain parts of the mask kind of flexible and bendy, which is really, really cool. It makes you kind of feel like the mask isn't attached to his face, which I like. That's a good little additive to add to that. I like his bracelet. Obviously, the bracelet that he has, his little voodoo bracelet that he's got going on. All in all, just a really good figure. Articulation, obviously, will be the next thing that we look at. His articulation for being a solid figure is not bad. Like I said, he's a very big guy, but as you can see, his arms move out pretty good. His hands can move up pretty well, too. Which is really good, especially because you're going to have him swinging his chainsaw around. You're going to want him to be able to put his hands up in the air and do the iconic dance that he does with the chainsaw at the end of the movie. The head swivel is really, really good. Perfect 360. He can look up. He can look down pretty good. Side to side, his apron moves and shifts very well. It's not attached. It's not a solid piece, which is also really, really cool. He obviously doesn't have very good ab crunch or just body rotation at the hip at all. Not that he really needs to, the way LeatherFace kind of moves around. If you're familiar with how Leatherface is kind of moving around is that he has a very solid looking straightforward build. He doesn't really turn his body too much, and if he turns his body, he's turning his entire body. You know what I mean? He's actually turning around using his legs. He doesn't really twist his body much. So I'm not too worried about any type of ab crunch or hip swivel or anything else like that. His thigh joints, you know, he's got some pretty good flexibility. Like I said, for a big figure, I mean, he can almost do the splits, which is really, really good. His legs move back pretty far and move forward pretty far. So he can actually be in a really good running state. That is actually amazing, like I said, for this big figure. You can even see little details down here, like his jeans and his leg there is actually sliced inward from the different damage that he has taken from the survivors and probably him swinging around the chainsaw so carelessly. But like I said, this part of his pants actually bends, allowing you to move his legs forward and back more. His apron, like I said, with it being so thin and not being solid and attached to his figure, allows you more flexibility than you think you would originally have, which is really, really good. Like I said, his flexibility is great. His maneuverability is great. The joints are great. He has a lot of joints, as most NECA figures do. All in all, just a really good figure. And the best part about this figure isn't even those little things. It's how much this figure comes with. As we've already showcased, we have his chainsaw here, his bloodied chainsaw. Very traditional Leatherface weapon. We also have his meat cleaver, his meat hammer right there. And then as we go ahead and move this box out of the way, we can go ahead and check out all of his other accessories here. So we have two other head sculpts. The one head sculpt shows his eyes and mouth more. The inside face sculpt is pushed closer to the actual front of the mask, allowing you to see Leatherface behind the mask, which I think is really cool. They give you a mask that allows you to only see the darkness. You don't get to really see the person under the mask that much, which adds to his creepiness and eeriness, but it also gives you the mask that allows you to see who is under there. Gives a little bit more personality to the figure if you want to add that part there. And they also give you the granny face, the older lady version of the Leatherface character, which is a really cool idea. It's a really cool thing to add. As well as giving you the apron for that little granny outfit that he has in the other movie. So you can also swap the apron. The apron does come off and you're able to swap it, which is a really, really cool thing. I love that. I love that you're able to actually swap it to the other costume of Leatherface. I think that was an amazing idea, especially for a big anniversary event like 50 years. When it comes down to his other hands, he only has another set of hands, which is his gripping hands for gripping a hold of weapons or holding onto the chainsaw. As for the weapons, he has a bunch. Like I said, chainsaw and the little hammer. He also comes with a sledgehammer. He comes with a hook that he hooks the survivors to. He goes ahead and hooks all of his victims up on there. It doesn't come with any sort of actual piece here. You know what I mean? It doesn't come with anything for the hook to hang on, but it does come with the meat hook. It also comes with a cleaver, and it comes with a couple different wrenches and a little makeshift knife, it seems. So this figure definitely comes with a lot of accessories, which is amazing. It really drives home how cool of a figure and a character this is. All the different costumes and iterations and different looks that you can give him and the different weapons. He has a lot of potential for posability when you add his flexibility of his figure and all the joints that he has. Really, really good figure so far. You know, if I was to go ahead and rate this figure, number one, its display, including the box here. Let me just go ahead and give you a little show of the box. You guys have seen the front and the back if you looked at the trailer that I had made. This is the inside of the box. It actually has that room back there with all the different skulls in it. And it also has a picture of Leatherface here holding on to his chainsaw. So a very iconic little area here, this little doorway with all the different antlers and all the different skulls. I really like that for the inside of his box. So when you add the display and the presentation of this figure and the box that he comes in with, the figure itself, the flexibility, the posability, the multiple different types of weapons and tools that he has. If I was to go ahead and rate this figure out of 10, I'm going to not lie to you. I'm giving this an easy 9.99 out of 10. And you're like, what? Why such a specific, score? Why not just bring it all the way to a 10? Oop, he fell. Why not just bring it all the way to a 10? Well, reason for that is if you're going to give us the meat hook, you could at least put in the back, right back here, you could at least put the stand for the meat hook. That was my only gripe. I was like, this is the 50th year anniversary for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You could have gave us the extra prop. You could have found a way to fit it in. It didn't need to be super tall or super crazy. You could have just given us that little thing so that we could actually hang the survivors up, the victims up, and we can actually make displays with this. But that was just my little itty bitty gripe. That's the only thing that can make this figure a perfect 10 out of 10. Everything else was absolutely great. Like I said, a 9.99 out of 10 is a great score. It's literally almost perfect. Let's go ahead and move over to some pictures that I did make of him posed up with other killers and slashers, some survivors and some victims, and also by himself, just to show you how amazing this figure is. Yeah, guys, so there you go. This was the 50th anniversary Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. All of the crazy accessories he came with, the different costume that he is able to go ahead and put on. This figure is absolutely amazing. I had so much fun posing him with all the different figures and by himself. He really is a really good figure with great articulation, great flexibility. If you need a Leatherface figure to add to your collection, this is your guy right here. This is about as good as it gets. The only thing you would ever need to get for this figure, like I said, which is the reason for his score of a 9.99 out of 10, is I would say you would have to get a stand for the hook to hook onto, so you could put the survivors up on the hook, or the victims, I'm sorry, up on the hook to make that iconic scene of him hooking up one of the people that he's going ahead and kill, making that iconic scene here. That's the only thing that you would need to get for this figure to make it whole, to make it perfect. But honestly, that's not bad. I would rather go ahead and go on Amazon or even make my own little stand thing to put the hook on, the meat hook on, to do that. It's honestly worth it because you get everything else with this figure. All around a great figure. If you guys enjoyed my reaction to this figure, my review, and my unboxing of this figure, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all thought about this figure. Is this a figure that you're going to be looking out for now? Is this somebody that's going to be on your little wish list, your hot, gotta get this figure list? Let me know, because I love hearing that I helped influence some people into finding great figures. I'm always trying to find great figures to go ahead and put people on to getting, because as collectors, as a collector myself, we want the best. And honestly, this is probably the best Leatherface figure I've ever seen. It doesn't get much better than this. And as always, guys, I will catch you on the next video. Peace.